All right, it's Wednesday, which means there's a new Minecraft snapshot, and wow, did they put together a lot of new art for this one. Every single spawn egg in the game has been retextured to better show what it's actually spawning, and wow, what a cool improvement. Actually very topical, because a few weeks ago, some of you may have seen it, I was actually playing a Minecraft map, and I had to identify spawn eggs that were in item frames on the wall in order to solve the puzzle. The puzzle turned out to be very difficult because of this, and if it happened in this update, man, it would have been a cakewalk to be able to do versus just the two colors that you had to go off of before. So there's also, on top of the retexture, there's a brand new tab here in the creative menu for spawn eggs on top of Monster Spawner, Trial Spawner, and Creaking Heart, although there is a Creaking spawn egg to go with, and you can scroll down and see them all in one place. I believe there are 81 total spawn eggs, except I think there's 79 in here. If I missed one when translating it from the menu to the board, I apologize. And if there are 81, I apologize for this really unsatisfying not 9x9 board, because I didn't account for Ender Dragon and Wither when I put it together. Whoops. Anyway, Ender Dragon and Wither still need to be given via a command, but they do have new spawn egg textures to go with, and they look great. Look at all these. Oh, man. What a cool change. Look at the Sniffer spawn egg. This beautiful. Look at the Snow Golem spawn egg. It looks like he's rowing a boat, sort of, like the oars, or, you know, the sticks or oars coming out of the side. You get the idea. Anyway, you can just tell. The fish are a little weird. That's a salmon. I don't know what happened to the poor salmon to translate it into an egg, but you know what's what, you know, like donkey and goat and guardian and hoglin and fox and evoker, iron golem. Oh man, it's cool. Anyway, sound up now, because there have been new wolf sounds added. In fact, we should get the new wolf spawn egg and spawn a few more in, just so that we can hear more. Actually, every time we spawn one in, you can hear one of the new sound effects. Some of the sounds when I spawn them in sound a little bit distressed. Maybe they're not too pleased about being stuck in the really crowded pen. Oh, he's mad. Oh, he's mad at the sheep. Oh, there's new stuff with sheep too. Anyway, I'll let them out. All right, you guys roam free. Listen to them escaping, roaming around. Free. Anyway, new wolf sounds. On top of that, I put down some of the leaf litter around the former pen here to try to illustrate. It's very subtle. The leaf litter has different colors on a hints on a per biome basis. Again, very, very subtle. I had to go into Photoshop and eyedropper to confirm that in fact there are differences, but I'll show them to you. Anyway, before we go and check out the comparisons, we should check out something new with sheep. This was actually implemented last week, but they made some tweaks to it. If you want to see all the specifics, you can look at the changelog. However, okay, this is Mandela effect. I had to actually go into a prior version of the game in order to confirm. We're gonna have a very difficult time having any sheep out here, aren't we? Just gonna go over here. You guys are in peace. That's so nice. Oh, not for long. Oh, God. So I was like, wait, have the sheep always looked like this? Oh, could leave them alone. Poor guys. So first thing you'll notice, when I spawn a sheep here in what is a warm biome, the savanna, I'm really only getting brown sheep. And this was implemented last week. They made, you know, instead of having different models of sheep like they did for cows and pigs, or different textures to go with, they just took the existing different colors of sheep and kind of mapped them to different biomes. So they tweaked what appears in what biome between last week and this week, because they had a bunch of stuff that goes with all the colorful sheep as well. But for the most part, general rule is in the warm biomes, you'll find the brown sheep, with some spawning just a little bit less frequently. But I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, they always look like this? With the color, you know, expanding to kind of the cheeks and the side of the face. And I'm like, wait, no. But then I Google Minecraft sheep. And sure enough, some of them look like this. And I'm like, what? So I think what it is we now have bedrock parity. So for people who are like, no, the sheep have always looked like this, I'm assuming you play on bedrock. And for those of us who've mostly been on Java, you're like, wait, no, it is different. And also, if you shear them, they now have their wool color applying to the undercoat as well. And that is the primary change here, is that instead of any sheared sheep on Java just turning into the same white sheep texture, it now retains the undercoat, which I think is bedrock parity. So anyway, I think that settles the argument, but someone can correct me. That said, brown sheep primarily in the warm biomes. Let's go over to a temperate so I can show a little leaf gradient. So in a more temperate biome, primarily you get white sheep spawning, but you can have some differences this is jungle, sparse jungle crossing over into birch forest. So you can kind of see the transfer over, but you can still get different sheep colors spawning. It's just that primarily it will be a particular color depending upon if it's warm, temperate, and we'll get to cold. Here's the leaf litter. This is a leaf litter gradient between the birch forest and the sparse jungle. Now, those of you who are extremely keen eyesight will be like, how could you possibly have difficulty observing the gradient between the two? And I would say to that, have you ever seen one of those optical illusions that really makes you question two colors being the same because of changes in background? And you'd be like, oh, those don't fool me. Whatever. I went into Photoshop and I eyedropper this and I eyedropper this to confirm they are in fact different colors, and it's not just the background of the ground that's throwing me off. So very slight change as you move across the biomes in the leaf litter texture. So that's part of it. But, you know, it changes even between different biomes than just birch forest and jungle. And there is a more dramatic one that we can see. So for this one between desert and jungle, I didn't necessarily need to eyedropper it in Photoshop. But here's jungle. And pretty abrupt transition into desert, but you can see, as you would expect in a desert, it's a little more, you know, brown, although it's still pretty brown over here. It's just different. It's 50 shades of brown, really. And finally, in the cold biome, I don't know, another shade of brown. I'm sure it's different than the other places, but whatever. However, sheep, right? So if we now spawn egg the sheep here in a cold biome, you'll notice most of them are going to be black sheep. But again, it's a range. It's just primarily, and it's cool how when you use the spawn egg in the different biomes, it reflects the distribution of what you'll just experience when you run into the sheep naturally as they spawn. But again, you see the undercoat matches, bedrock parity, so on and so forth. And that's pretty much it for the last couple of weeks worth of snapshots. Yeah, there's a lot more rules in terms of like what colors of sheep between the blues and the pinks and the reds and all that can spawn where, and they changed between the last couple of weeks. If you want specifics, look up the changelog in the description. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video. Stay tuned for more. Playlist for more of the snapshots if you're interested in the description, and I'll see you next time.